Hey everyone, today I'm going to take you through my experience at Wondercon in Anaheim this weekend. We saw some custom figures, a lot of really cool cosplay. I even saw some of my own designs being sold, and we got some insane deals on a bunch of figures, and I'll show you everything else I picked up this weekend. Wondercon is run by the people that do San Diego Comic-Con every year, and that's kind of their LA version because LA Comic-Con I believe is a separate company. I felt like there was a lot more Star Wars representation this year than I remember from previous years. The 501st was there, a lot of cosplayers. I don't know if there was a specific like Star Wars themed costume contest or something going on today, but there was just, I felt like everywhere I looked there was Star Wars cosplay. They even had members of the 501st directing all of the morning traffic, and I was looking for my friend in green armor the whole time, but I could not find him. But this is where Star Wars Celebration was held a few years ago, and it just brought back so many great memories. And my favorite thing to do, of course, at conventions like this is hunt for Black Series finds. There was a lot of Black Series this time, a lot more than I'm used to seeing at this convention, just at least from what I remember. Sometimes at these conventions, you know, you find like one or two booths that actually have what you're looking for, but I just felt like everywhere I looked, I was just greeted with walls of Black Series. The pricing, you know, you kind of get con prices sometimes, but there were a lot of really good deals on loose figures, especially from this booth here. I think I bought like 8 figures from here. I was really enjoying going through all of these bags here, just a lot of crazy deals and stuff like SH Figuarts Anakin and Obi-Wan that like you don't ever see, especially not loose. I didn't really start going to conventions until after quarantine, and so it's kind of funny now being at like 7 or 8 cons to just be able to recognize certain vendors just by their booth and know where is worth your time to shop. And one of the best parts of cons is catching up with friends, so this is Centerpoint Studios booth. They have a lot of their new customs on display here, like Palpatine and Cyril Karn. This Palpatine is really amazing, and they had a lot of just ready-to-go kits for like $50 or less. So stay tuned, I'll show you what I picked up from this booth. And Centerpoint Studios has this huge Dexter's Diner diorama in 1/12 scale. There's my little Dexter Jester in there that we designed for the Patreon, as well as a couple other figures. This thing is so crazy to see in person. He did such an amazing job with this. And he also has the hotel from Ferrix from Andor. This just is all made out of foam. It just unbelievable. This looks so good. But the spotlight was really on his new Palpatine that just looks so good. This is fully 3D printed, and he painted it, and it just looks amazing. You might recognize this 3D printed diorama that I designed the files for. This was at the booth of 2797 Studios, who are one of my authorized sellers. They had a bunch of bins with little boglings and lothcats, but apparently the best sellers were the hexagon stands, and there were also some magic risers on display in both TVC and Black Series scale. They also had Cobb Vanth and his little pod racer engine speedo in both 1/12 and 1/6 scale, totally crazy to see, as well as some Tusken speeders here that look amazing. Also at this booth was some work by Rob Von Schu, who's another YouTuber that I enjoy, a lot of really cool custom work as well. And I actually ended up buying a lot more than I sort of expected, so let's take a look at everything that I picked up, both at the con and just stuff that came in the mail this weekend as well. It's kind of like a joke that when it rains, it pours with figures, and this is definitely one of those weekends. So this is technically something that I 3D printed, but this is a 1/12 scale Reek from Attack of the Clones. I actually like how it kind of has those articulation lines, even though it's not articulated, but I think it'll actually kind of look like a toy on the shelf. There are a lot of holes in the bottom because I printed it hollow just to save resin and time. I bought a couple things from Beb Art on Instagram, and he sent me this little Yoda statue. He said this is a knockoff from AliExpress, but it's a cool like little stand-in for prequel Yoda. I've seen this pop up around the internet over time and just always kind of wondered about it. It's nice to kind of see how it scales with Black Series. I think this would be a nice kind of like stand-in for a Figuarts Yoda if you didn't have it. This is what I picked up from Centerpoint Studios. It is an Anakin as Vader head. This fits on the SH Figuarts body, but apparently it can also work for Black Series if you just kind of Dremel out the inside a little bit, but I'll probably put it on my SH Figuarts. I'm not totally sure yet. This is an older figure, not as exciting, but I'm trying to do some Ugnaughts for my Patreon with resin printing, just since we don't have those in the Black Series, so I just bought this for reference. And then Beb Art also sent me this General Grievous. It was only $30 for the model kit, which is a total steal. Much better 1/12 scale than the Black Series one. And I do have this model kit already, but it was super weathered and was missing the arms, and a lot of the joints were really tight. So this is just like a really nice, fresh one of these to have, and I'm really excited. It feels like kind of getting it for the first time. And then Beb Art also sold me these 2 droids that he had purchased from Greedo 737. The one on the left is seen in Home 1 in A New Hope, and the one on the right is from Revenge of the Sith. And because I always forget all of the names of these background droids, I printed a label out to put on the back there, just because it's nice to, when I need to reference them, if like I'm doing a collection tour or something, I don't have to try to go searching through my text to figure out the names of the droids. And next we have Flo from Dexter's Diner. This was printed for me by Centerpoint Studios. Studios. I was able to pick this up from him at the con to go next to my Dexter Jetster that we designed for Patreon. I'll probably take her off this stand and glue her to a hexagon stand just so she kind of blends in with the rest of the figures and it looks like she's just kind of standing on her own. But I'm looking forward to getting that painted up along with the Reek. And 2797 Studios at the convention was giving out these little spotchka bottles that are also a part of my Patreon, but I'd never actually seen one printed in clear blue resin. So I'm looking forward to painting the little details on the side and just having that on my Mando shelf. And then a user on Etsy called Cubic 3D Prints popped up recently, and they do these amazing saber replacement blades as well as custom hilts like this Rey from The Rise of Skywalker. I'd never had this figure displayed on the shelf just because I thought, you know, something was missing, and now we finally have that nice yellow saber. I think it was $15 on Etsy. Go check them out if you have not already. I also got this set in the mail. Thank you to CT Fulcrum on Instagram for helping me get this set. I missed the initial pre-order, and so they really helped me out. I said I would do a review on these, but upon looking at them, there's really so little to talk about here since these are all reuse. The purple clone is on the 2020 body. This was a design that was actually designed by Hasbro years ago, and it was never actually in canon, and so I probably won't have it on my shelf. It is a nice pop of color, and if I found a place for it, it would look great. The faces could use a little bit of a matte spray, but overall much better than what we've seen before, and I really do like the Clone Wars look for Mace Windu, and I hope we get a lot more Jedi released with those arm gauntlets like that. It's just such a cool look. But overall, you know, these are just mostly like reuse and repaints, and so you kind of know what you're getting with these figures, so if you just like the way that they look, that's pretty much all you need to know. And now I want to show you what I picked up at the convention at that booth with all the loose figures. I got the Rebel Fleet Commander for just $10. He's missing the helmet here, but there are lots of great parts for customs. I also got Bosk for just 20 bucks. He's missing his weapon, but I'd wanted to use one of those suits for customs as well. We've got Tebow for $10, also just custom fodder here. I pretty much own like every Black Series figure that I would want to have, so most of what I purchased were just for customs, like this Leia, who's also just 10 bucks. Hard to find for that cheap. This SH Figuarts Obi-Wan was only $30. He's missing all of his accessories, but I'm doing a lot of Jedi, especially from the Battle of Geonosis, so getting a Figuarts Jedi body for just 30 bucks, you really can't beat that. I'm waiting to see if some cheap Mace Windows hit eBay from the new 2-pack, since people might be army building the clones, and I want to throw a Plo Koon head on it and maybe paint him that dark maroon like we see in Clone Wars. Then I got Rio Durant for just 10 bucks. I think this guy goes for like over 40 a lot of the time, so I don't know if I'll use some of these parts for customs. Even just the goggles are nice, so I couldn't pass that one up. Please give this video a like if you did enjoy. Hopefully this maybe scratched that con itch until the next one that comes to your town. But until then, here are some videos from my channel that you might enjoy. Please subscribe if you are new, and I will see you all next time.